What's it like spotting next to Tim Feedaway?
Well, you never end up where you're supposed to be to start with, because as the race goes on and the green flag continues, you continually get pushed one way or the other, right? I mean, caution comes out, I look down, and I'm 3 feet from my tape mark and my iPad, so I need to be 3 feet the other way, but Timmy just keeps pushing us down. And then the chicken wing. I mean, thankfully, I'm on the good side of it.
Yeah,
You're on
I'm
the
not.
bad side
I'm
of it.
not.
But it's all you're going to look at is his elbow.
Timmy gets up there with his binoculars, and like most of us, we'll get binoculars up and we kind of keep our elbows tucked in. Timmy is as wide as he can get, leaned over the rail. You're trying to.
He's old. He can't
over the
see,
years,
right?
I've decided that it's easier for me to look
Underneath
between
that.
his
Really?
little
His arm.
hole right
Yeah.
here because I can't see around him.
Did you guys have anybody in turn one?
No.
No.
And
We did for the first time. I felt that it was a plus for the first time ever. We had
yeah, but
somebody.
you don't know what he could see, and
They did a really good job of keying off each other from. They knew exactly
who was it?
And the kid that we have spotting for the late model did an awesome job. But him and it was like they never lost a sentence after he stopped. It was like the first time I was like, okay, that was worth it. That was probably the first time that I've seen it because the flow was phenomenal.
And Lambert, I don't know if you agree. This is why I talked about this yesterday on the broadcast too. But for me, it's first of all the changeover point is a concern, just because right where you change over is where they usually end up, the big fan out of 5, 6 wide. And then the problem with turn one for me is we're really low.
Correct.
We're really close to the racetrack. Them guys are lower, closer to the racetrack, and I think they still have the same depth issues getting in the one that we do because they're not all the way down in one. Yeah. They are, still probably towards the end of the pit road. So I don't know. For me, it's like I talked about this yesterday. There was a point a couple years ago, a handful of years ago now, where Stenhouse just drove in the back of Casey with a flat because them guys got their crossovers mixed up and nobody said anything. Or something to that effect. But, so for me, it's just not worth it. I don't know. Did you ever try it?
So I myself have been down there. Now, granted, it was 22, 23 years ago when I was first starting in this at this level. But Jeremy Brickhouse, that was spotting for Mark Martin at the time, I was doing the Xfinity car, O'Reilly's car for them back then, and I stayed over a few races. I actually went under the old scoring tower at Phoenix, if you remember, on what was the front stretch, back stretch now. And same thing, you're so low, your angles are terrible, your sight lines are terrible. But I actually went down there at Pocono probably 22 years ago, and I told Jeremy, I'm like, I cannot help you. I mean, once they fan out, you don't know where you are. It's sort of like turn one at Coda when they come up the hill and all you see is roofs and you lose them. So I'm not a fan of it as long as the driver that I'm working with understands the situation. And with the cameras now, I feel like Denny's really good at being aware of what's going on around him. But it is tough when you're buried 23rd, 24th in the field and you fan out 5 or 6 wide. How do you call it? And until they turn into the corner, you're not sure whether they're there or not. But I just Denny's one of those less voices on the radio, less chatter, the better. So he understands what he's up against, and we just do it with just one.
So you just throw out facts. There's no jibber jabber, right? Nothing.
If I'm unsure, I'm going to continue to stay still there. You know what I mean? And if he wants to clear himself off his left side mirror or the camera,
but you guys fully understand that. He
that.
knows that you're going to say. Do you say it with a different tone of voice?
I don't.
Okay.
No. And early on, I would tell him, can't tell, and he's like, "Don't tell me can't tell. Just if you're unsure, the last thing that you were sure about, continue to say that, and I'll make my decision based off what I see." And he puts a little piece of tape on his mirror that gives him 2 foot.
Man, don't be giving his secrets
away.
off
off the rear bumper cover, and he knows if what he sees is within that range, then he's clear. If not, then he's not clear. But he has a really good understanding of where he's at and what he can do. So it works out for us.